Hello, this is Angela with Permaculture. It is dry and cold in Portland, Oregon right now, and I've got a little bit of time this morning to do some yard work. So it seems like the ideal time to let all of my poultry out of their paddock to free range and clean up in the garden. And while I'm working out here, hello French fry, I thought I would talk briefly about some important reasons to consider keeping poultry, whether you're in a rural location or in an urban location. Besides having meat and eggs, what are the benefits of poultry to a permaculture system? And why might you consider keeping them even if perhaps you're a vegan or you don't eat eggs or you don't intend to raise them for meat? I'm going to talk about 3 or 4 reasons to keep poultry besides the food production that they provide. In permaculture, we're looking at holistic design. In fact, that's one of the reasons I've been talking a lot about social permaculture. We're looking at the big picture and designing from patterns to details. We're taking that big picture, we're zoning in really tight and looking at all of the tiny, intricate connections and how they build that big, complex, highly functional system. So we're not missing the... Okay, see if I can get through this. There might be a lot of jump cuts in this video just because there's a lot of turkey gobbling going on. Oh, hello. And someone's trying to eat my buttons. No, thank you. No, thank you, madam. Okay. So we don't want to miss the forest for the trees. We want to have our really successful permaculture design, and we don't want it to be hampered or reduced in efficacy in any way because we've neglected some important connection that could enhance our system and increase our resilience. Poultry are one really important way that we can add so many layers of benefits to a system. Not just a suburban system or a rural system, but also an urban system as well. Wish I could show you what's going on. Hey, don't eat the camera. So 3 benefits that poultry can bring to your system besides meat or eggs. Number 1 is that they can do an excellent job removing pests in your garden. Part of the reason that my poultry are out free ranging now in my annual veggie bed section of the garden is because I want them to go through all my dead plants that I have chopped and dropped. I want them to scratch and turn over the dirt and remove any pests that exist so that they don't carry over from year to year in my garden. Chickens and turkeys and guinea hens are extremely effective at doing this. The second reason is because I want them to remove all of the weed seeds. Now, I don't get a ton of weeds in my garden. In fact, most of the perennial sections, the food forest sections, I don't have any weeds. But annual veggie gardens are a different beast, if you will. No turkey. Nope, you can't eat my camera. Nope. Nope. No, thank you. Okay, where was I? Annual veggie beds are a little bit of a different beast. Because they are prone to more soil disturbance, and because they have more open soil in general, they're more likely to be colonized by weeds. And when those weed seeds happen to take hold, they can become a big issue really quick when I have young, tiny annual veggie sprouts in my garden, seedlings. So I want my poultry to come in and gobble up all of those seeds. They do an excellent job of eating all of those weed seeds and saving me a lot of work next year. So my poultry do an excellent job of taking those insect pests and those weed seeds and turning them into manure. And that gets me to my next benefit. Poultry are really good at taking waste products and turning them into fertility. They are wonderful at recycling kitchen scraps that I can't eat, that would take longer to break down and perhaps attract rodents in the garden. They're very good at eating those and quickly turning them into rich nitrogenous manure. They're very good at taking weeds, weed seeds, and insects in the garden and turning them into rich nitrogenous manure. In permaculture, we say the problem is the solution. I don't have kitchen scraps I don't know what to do with. I don't have weeds. I don't have pests. I have a source of fertility via my poultry. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble, gobble. next benefit of having poultry, now I've discussed this in other videos in the past, is that they are a force of disturbance. They are really good at accelerating processes in my garden. Now, we've talked about how permaculture is mimicking systems in nature, but because we're working on a human time scale and not the eons of nature's scale, we need to accelerate many of those processes. And poultry are a great way to help us do that, taking large piles of organic material that is not bioavailable to our plants, and through their scratching and pecking and eating, they do a great job of accelerating the process of returning that material to rich soil we can use in our garden. Poultry can be an accelerant for us. They can be a force that helps us work on a human time scale, and in that way be a really great benefit. They speed up the things we need to get done in our garden so that we can have our garden be balanced and productive, assist us in ramping up the production in our garden to a human timescale. When you're thinking about adding your poultry to your system, when you're thinking what are the benefits, please think beyond eggs or meat. Think about all of the ways that our poultry can connect with areas of our garden and enhance the food production. They not only enhance the resilience of our system, they can decrease the workload for us. They can do some of that workload for us and reduce how much time we have to spend on composting, on weeding, on dealing with pest pressure. Please tune back in for part 2 of this video. I'm going to be discussing some things to consider when adding poultry to your system, some warnings, some cautions, some mistakes I have made and I see other folks make when you are deciding what it will look like to keep poultry in your permaculture system. Also, please check out my Patreon down below or my PayPal. If you want to support the work of this channel and you don't want to be a regular monthly contributor, you can just throw a couple of bucks at my PayPal. That's an awesome way to support what I do. I will be back very soon with all of my birdies here, and we will be talking more about keeping poultry in a permaculture system. Thanks.
A big thank you to my new patrons, Kelly, Ibrahim, Lauren, Kates, Brian, Julia, Faith, and Rox. Thank you so much for your support.